Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Tonya, and if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back again. Today we're going to be working on spring DIYs, and most of the items were from Dollar Tree. Now for DIY number one, we're going to be making these decorative pails, and they turned out so pretty. What you're going to need is these round little gift boxes from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to mix up some grays and silver to paint the inside to look like a rusty pail. And I love how this design turned out. I will leave some of the paints that I used to make this happen in the description below. But I just kind of did that little splotchy look and then dried everything really well. And I decided to use that plaster paint to just cover the outside of these because we're going to be using those rub-on transfers again from Dollar Tree. And this just turned out so pretty. I love the design, and I definitely will keep using those transfers. And they just put a lot of those out at Dollar Tree, so you may want to stop in and see if you can find some of those. Now, I do make sure everything is dried really well, and I go ahead and just dab a little black around the bottom and the top there you saw. And I'm going to be using my wood burning tool to just burn the hole in here, and that worked perfect. It was really quick and it was really easy. And you just kind of have to wave away a little bit of that smoke. It doesn't take long, just a second, to get those holes lined up and burnt in there. And then I took some old rusty wire that I had in my craft room, and I'll have to tell you how I did that. I actually got some wire from Lowe's and just set it outside and let it rust, and it looks really neat. But here is all of those little rub-on transfers that I found at Dollar Tree, and I decided to use some similar to the ones that I used on my Valentine's Day X&Os. I'll leave a link to that also either in the description or up at the top where you can click on it. But this was such a fun idea, and I had always looked at these little round gift boxes and wondered what I could do with them, so I was really happy with how nice this design turned out. Well, everyone, you'll have to let me know in the comments below if you're excited to see spring DIYs. I hope it's not too early. We have had so much snow here in the mountains that I had to have some greenery and something bright and cheery, and I thought I'd just go ahead and put these out today. But go ahead, let me know if it's okay to keep doing some spring DIYs, or if you feel like you need a little more winter. Do you need a little more Valentine? And I just wanted to kind of get into the theme of spring and farmhouse decor, so don't forget to let me know your opinion on that one in the comments. Now I'm just going to go ahead and get these rub-on transfers on there, and make sure you rub those in really well, because there was a few places I didn't, and I had to kind of hold it back down to make sure. But look how pretty this turned out. I cannot believe this is one of those little round gift boxes. And I'm going to be looking to see if I can find some other types of transfers on Amazon and places. And if I do, I will definitely leave a link to that. Now, what I'm using here is just some of that matte varnish. And I love to use the matte, and that kind of will seal everything in. And it actually makes the little boxes a little more sturdy also. And so this was just a neat little tip. Now, I just took some random beads and put them together to make my little handle. And I did end up rubbing a little bit of that Waverly Antique wax on these. I don't think I actually showed that in the clip here. And then I just took that wire and just kept bending it around to poke it in the holes there and make it look like a handle. But I really love this one, and you'll have to let me know what you think of our little pails today. Now, I did not glue any of my greenery or my flowers into these because I wanted to leave them where if I just wanted to set the little pail out and maybe even put some little hand towels or something in it, that I could also do that. But I had these florals on hand, so I thought that I would just pop those in there. And they've got really pretty ones out at the Dollar Tree now, so you could also pick some of those up. I noticed they've been putting a lot of their spring ones out. Now for our next DIYs, we're going to be making this basket tier and these two little heart dishes. Now I'm going to be using one of these glasses and one of the baskets from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to paint this one with that plaster chalk paint, and we're actually going to be using this upside down. Now I mixed up just some metallic brass colors, and I did a little bit, I think that one's like a Merlot color of chalk paint. And I really like to mix that with the copper gold color. I just think it comes out really pretty. And then I'm going to be mixing up some of this little sand filler from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to mix some glue in there. And then I add a little Mod Podge. And then I just take some white plain acrylic paint. And I'm really just trying to get a thick texture of paste that I can paint on here, and it just kind of makes it look like stone. Now you could always paint this, but I'm a fan of white, so I definitely wanted to leave mine white. And I love how it turned out. I did put a little wood disc in the middle there just to kind of hold everything together, because I knew I was going to put greenery in that. Now I'm going to take the leftover that I had, and I'm going to paint these little dishes. And I did let this dry overnight. And once everything dried really well, I did end up putting some varnish on this. I don't think I showed that clip either. I don't think I was filming when I was doing some of my varnishing. But I love how this turned out after it dried. And this was a really neat way to add something different to this glass heart bowl. And I ended up just laying my greenery in here. And you'll see just how cute and simple this one turned out. So here's a quick video of how I decorated mine, and I added a little bow there at the bottom and a few wood beads and some greenery and some paper roses that I had got at Hobby Lobby. And here are my little heart dishes, and I just think these are so sweet. I just added some earrings to one of them and a little piece of my greenery. Now, I did pick up most of this greenery at Hobby Lobby, and some of the little succulents, I believe those were from Dollar Tree, and of course those little hearts were. But isn't that just a neat look with that stone? You'll have to let me know what you think of this design. Now for our next DIY, I'm going to be taking one of these pails from Dollar Tree and this large sticker that had this beautiful greenery print. But I'm going to be using that plaster paint. This one was so fun and simple, everyone. This was probably my favorite one. I'm definitely going back and getting some more of these little pails. But I'm going to just take and paint everything below where the rope is with that plaster white. And I think I ended up doing about 2 or 3 coats on this. I really wanted that to be covered really well because I'm going to be applying that little sticker around the bottom. And I really had to dig through all of those stickers to find this greenery. So I'm definitely going to go back and try to find some more of these. This was so pretty. Now I did end up taking and gluing a piece of foam in the bottom because I knew that I was going to probably be leaving this one alone and just having it as a little accent of greenery in my decor. But look at this, so fun and simple, and it turned out so pretty. And I think this is some greenery that I actually picked up at Michael's. I'll have all that listed for you in the description below. Now I do take just a few of these little white flowers. Now I did purchase those at Dollar Tree, and I just wanted to pop those in there. Everyone, I am really needing greenery right now. I want that snow to melt so bad outside. So you're probably going to see a lot of greenery from me here lately. And here's a little video of how I displayed this one. But wasn't this a really fun and simple one? Definitely let me know what you think of this quick and simple design. Well, everyone, I hope you're enjoying today's DIYs, and if so, I do hope you decide to give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel and you'd like to see more DIYs like this, I hope you consider doing so. Now, for our last DIY, we're going to be making this cutting board, and I ended up using those dry erase paddles from Dollar Tree, and I was so happy with how this one turned out also. And I just glued those together to make them a little bit taller. And then of course you can see I have that easel over there. I did take some scrapbooking paper that I had purchased from Michael's, and they have that out again. It's all kind of the wood tones and stone and rock, but that's a really good one to get. And I ended up using my tacky glue to glue this onto my board, and you don't have to worry about that hump there in the middle, because we are going to take that pillowcase that I showed you in a previous haul, and I'm going to make a little pocket down at the bottom of this. And I just thought this was a really neat design, and definitely one that I will be doing again. Now, I used my heat gun to glue that down. It seemed like it helped it to not bubble up. Now, here's that pillowcase that I had purchased at Dollar Tree, and I love this green color, and I thought that it looked so pretty with that dark wood tone, and that's why I picked that color of my scrapbooking paper. Now, what I'm trying to do here is just make a pocket. So I was kind of playing with it and decided I wanted to make it really thick, so I just kind of tucked it down in and glued it together, and really easy to work with. Like I said, this is just it's just a fabric pillowcase, and then you can just line it up right there where that hump is, where I glued the two paddles together, and then I'm just going to flip it over and glue everything down, and that will give me a pocket to pop some of my greenery in. Now, everyone, this is supposed to be spring, but I did add a bunny, because for me, adding bunnies during the spring goes right into Easter, and I always love to do that. And here's another one of those pieces of greenery. I purchased that at Hobby Lobby. They have some really nice ones. They're a little more expensive, but I love them. And here's a bunny I had in my craft box from last year. And I'm just going to take one of those little welcome signs and just set it there at the bottom. And I do end up adding one of my rope twine bows just to the top there. And now we have a nice little decorative cutting board that you can set up in your kitchen. And here's how this one turned out. Well, everyone, once again, I hope you did enjoy today's DIYs, and don't forget to let me know if you are ready for these spring DIYs. And if you did enjoy this video, I hope you do give it a thumbs up. That really does help YouTube notice my channel. And also leave me a comment and let me know what you're thinking of everything that I did today. And with that being said, I will see you on the next one. Have a great week.